Hey, it's time for another Power Hour. I'm your host, Detroit Lenny, here with some information on football. We are going to go over a couple college games for you. We got Houston at Memphis, SMU UCF. That's a game that was last weekend, got moved to Wednesday. It's this Wednesday. Some Washington State at USC, and we're going to talk some Nebraska Rutgers. NFL-wise, Giants, Green Bay, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, Chicago, Minnesota. Lots and lots to go over. So before we get too far into this, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Power Hours here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. And with me today, we're going to start the week off on the right way. The right way with Craig Trapp.
Right way.
Don't
right
come
way.
in here. No
weak
BS
stuff.
here.
No
weak stuff. We bring the pain on the Power Hour.
That's right.
No pain, no gain. All right, look. Houston, for this is a Friday game, October 7th. Houston traveling to Memphis. Memphis -3, over under 57.5. Before you break down this game, I want to talk about this because we got a whole new promo this week on Power Hour. You can get a free 7-day consensus report. All you have to do is just text your full name to 614-810-7522. Text that number, you'll get the 7-day consensus report. Boom. Craig Trapp dropping off gems for you. You're welcome, people. You're welcome. Talk to me about this Houston-Memphis game.
Well, this is a Houston team that's going for, I think they're going to try to set a record how many games they can play overtime. I mean, so far in the year, they're played 5 games, 3 overtime games. They're 2-3 on the year, 1-2 in the overtime games, 1-4 against the spread. Memphis hasn't played quite as many close games, but a couple exciting games, 4-1 overall. And 2-3 against the spread. But, Lenny, I think this is somewhat overreaction a little bit on this line. Okay. I really thought this game was more like a pick'em game because Houston, like I said, lost those overtime games. If all of a sudden you're 2-3, they win those overtime games, like you're 4-1 as well. I think Houston, if they were the highly ranked team, most people thought the most of them in the conference compared to Memphis. I think Houston would probably be a 3 or 4 point favorite in this one. So it's sometimes you see that overreaction. And it was, don't forget that Houston loss was against Tulane. It was in prime time and weekday last week. So a lot of people watched that game. So what I'm looking at here is I think you got to go against that. You have to take Houston here plus the points. First of all, Houston does play a lot of close games. So you're getting 3 points. That sounds really safe to me. Get a lot of points on a team that plays a lot of close games. I mean, you might even get a push here if you lose. So to me, I think Houston's the better team. I just think, unfortunately, they haven't figured out a way to win those close games as much as you would like. So, but I do think Houston wins here at +3. I just think, Memphis, I'm not impressed with who they've beaten. You know what I mean? They beat Temple. They're terrible. North Texas, terrible. Arkansas State, not good. Navy, not good. The only team that they lost to was their first game of the year. Mississippi State, they lost 49-23. So to me, I think you take a team that, I know they don't have as good a record, but I think they have more talent. Let's take Houston here plus the 3 points, and I think you're pretty safe with this one.
There you go. Game probably going to overtime, and they'll win 3-0. So, that's just how that's going to go.
Or it goes to overtime, one of those double, triple overtimes where they lose by 2 because they don't get the 2.
Right. Yeah, they didn't get the extra point, or they have to go for 2 at some point. Yeah. I get you. Like, subscribe, ring that bell for notification, folks. Pick some Parlay Power Hours here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. All you got to do, hit that button, like. All right, now let's get into some NFL, shall we? We're going to talk to the London game. I don't have a British accent, nor will I ever, so this is as close you get to it. This is a Sunday game, but it's the early game. Giants versus Packers. Packers already at -8. Over under here is 41.5. I mean, I don't know about that one. What do you think about that? Before you mention that, though, don't forget, guys, free 7-day consensus report. All you got to do is text your full name, 614-810-7522. Get after it. Talk to me about this game.
These London games, that was an exciting game last week. This is, again, at that Tottenham Hotspur Stadium. Last week, the Vikings had to survive late, a missed field goal. They could have tied it up late. These games have been pretty exciting games. You don't always, you see the game, you think Giants, I don't know about the Giants against the Packers. But I expect a closer than expected game here. I really do. I think when you see this game, you think Giants especially going into the year. You would think, the Giants, they're probably going to be 1-1, 1-3, or 2-2. Hey, they're 3-1, same record as this Packers team. They're 3-1 against the spread as well, and the Packers are 3-1 and 2-2 against the spread. The Packers had to survive in overtime against a beat up on the third quarterback, New England. That was kind of a little bit of a shock. They weren't even close to covering in that one. So to me, Lenny, let's talk about the side first, even though the better play going to be on the total. Okay. What is this Packers team to you? I mean, is it because I think their defense is top 3, even though the Patriots marched up down the. I think they have top 3 to 5 talent in the league. I think they just maybe last week were maybe overlooking a Green Bay or a New England team that was banged up. I think they got to play to their defensive run game. As much I know you have top 5 quarterback all time. You think Aaron Rodgers is going to throw the ball around. They just don't. I mean, with Adams gone, they just don't have quite the talent that they do on the outside as they have in years past. So I think they got to play their defense and their defense and run game. Giants, on the other hand, Lenny, I mean, Daniel Jones banged up. He left last week. But the running game, this is all about the running game. Their running game has been awesome. Saquon Barkley looks like pre-Saquon injury to his knee. So
he's on fire.
Yeah, I mean, they're really being able to run the ball. So I think if I was going to play the side, I probably would take the Giants, believe it or not, +8 here. I think the much safer play, stay away from the side. You play the over 41.5. These London games have gone over something like 70% of the games the last 3 years. 5 years. I think it's 5 years, including last week's game. I mean, you did not expect, Andy Dalton-led Saints team to put up a bunch of points, but they did just that. I mean, I think traveling over and all that, I mean, the NFL is always, obviously, the defense. You can't do anything on defense any now without getting a penalty. And they definitely want to show points over there. I mean, like to make the game more exciting. I think this game goes over. I think the Giants are probably going to have some trick plays and stuff to get this, to get an easy score or two. But I think the Packers are going to win, 28-21, 28-23 type game. I think this goes over pretty easily. So let's take the over 41.5. If I was going to play the side, though, I would take the Giants plus the points.
I'm going to keep taking the points against the Packers until they start to cover. They win, but they're not. They keep inflating these numbers, I think, thinking that Aaron Rodgers is going to go out and do whatever. I was one of them. I thought Aaron Rodgers was going to crush New England last week by like a bajillion, and it didn't work out, but it is what it is. But I do like the Pack. I actually like the Giants plus the points, but I love this over even better.
Yeah.
I think this game.
Don't overthink it.
I think they both. Yeah, they get into the 20s. Both these teams easily.
Yep.
So we'll go after that. I like it. Don't forget, like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Pick some Parlay Power Hours here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna kick Craig on out of here, and we're gonna bring up Tim Earl. Take care, Craig. All right, now brought in straight from the Earl Sports Bettors headquarters in North Carolina, Tim, the man, the myth, the legend, Earl. He's got 2 college games to talk about. We're going to talk about some SMU UCF. This game I'm pretty excited about because it got moved from Saturday to this game, Hurricanes and all that. You're also going to talk some Washington State, USC, and Steelers Bills. So we'll kick it off right here and get into this one. This is a Wednesday matchup. We got football during the week. I don't care if it's because of a hurricane or what. I just want football on Tuesdays and Wednesdays. So Wednesday night matchup, SMU traveling to UCF, -3, over under 65.5. Before we get into this, though, don't forget 7-day free 7-day consensus report. Just text your name to 614-810-7522. Talk to me, Tim.
Yeah, I'm always excited for American Conference games. That's like my strongest conference when it comes to college football. And we get it as a standalone game. It's on a Wednesday night. It was supposed to be on Saturday, but a little bit of a hurricane action. Don't matter. It's a 3-point spread, and these two teams are supposed to be, 3, 4. You can make arguments for UCF being a top 2 team in the American. And SMU's just not started off the year the way that they wanted to. They're 2-2 to start off, 1-3 against the spread, and 1-3 more towards the under. SMU has put up 48, 45 in the first 2 games, granted against North Texas and Lamar, so nothing crazy. They should be putting up points there. Then they had a fun game against Maryland where they lost by 7. That one was 34-27. And then a absolute back and forth game in a Texas rivalry game with TCU, where they lost that one 42-34. So lots of points being scored in that one. We definitely have seen SMU does have a decent offense this year. On the Central Florida side, you get them. They've started off 3-1. They look solid. They had their win against South Carolina, 56-10, which was a nice win there. They lost to Louisville, but that was on a standalone. I believe that was a Sunday night or Friday night game. That was a Friday night game, standalone game, whatever. They go and take out FAU 40-14 and 27-10 versus Georgia Tech. Kind of a little bit of a struggle game there, as they were a 21-point favorite in that one. But when it comes to this one, standalone game, I like the over. I think you're going to see a back and forth, high-scoring game. These two offenses have proven that they can score. And I think you're going to see something similar to what the SMU and TCU game was, back and forth, high offensive game. I'm going to take this one over the 65.5.
I do like that. I will say this. I wouldn't be surprised if by the Wednesday I'm on a sprinkle on this game to go into overtime as well. I'll probably get some plus money there. I just think back and forth. I don't really have a side play on it or anything. I like the over, but I don't know. I know I'll probably sprinkle on some of that other stuff though. But
I will say with this game for the side, me and Nick did have Central Florida -3 on the site for last week when they were supposed to play. Right. I'm not sure if we're doing that one again.
That's fair.
We kind of looked at it, but this is a different situational spot.
Fair enough. Don't forget, guys, like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Pick some Parlay Power Hours here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. All right, next college game we have on for you, Washington State at USC. This happens on Saturday, like a regular time. Washington State at USC -11. Over under 60.5. Tim Earl, talk to me about this game. This USC team, man, I wanna like them. They just do USC things.
They're good.
They kind of burned me I had them against ASU and thought they were going to cover all those points, and that didn't work out on Saturday. But whatever. But talk to me about this.
Tough with the out west games to get the big covers. USC is an 11-point favorite, and I think they should be. I think actually they might need to be bigger favorites in this one. I think they score a lot in this game. We'll look at Washington State first. They're 4-1 to start the year. But when you look at their schedule, it's just like, some of these games are a little bit not impressive. 7-point win versus Idaho, week 1. Not impressed. Good win against Wisconsin. At least we thought it was. Wisconsin looks awful this year. That kind of discredits that win. But they did go into Wisconsin and beat them. So I'll give them that one as 17.5-point dogs. They covered versus Colorado State, but who doesn't? And then when it came to them actually playing a legit team in Oregon, they actually played a competitive game.
Yeah, it was a good game, that game, man. I watched that game.
They covered, but they covered on a last-second backdoor touchdown. So we'll see with that one. Which that one, once they faced a real team, they allowed 44 points. Other than that, the other games 17, 14, 7. And then last week they played Cal and allowed 9. This is going to be a very similar game to the Oregon one because Southern California's got a good offense. We've seen that. We look at what they've done. Week 1, Rice, 66 points, 66-14. Fine. You should have scored that many against Rice. Although Rice doesn't look as bad as we thought they would. Then they played Stanford, put 41 up on Stanford. Good win. Then they got up against Fresno State. They put 45 up against Fresno State. There you go. A tricky game against Oregon State, which the total was 70 in that game, finished 17-14. Oregon, that was going to be a tricky game, and I thought that Oregon State could have won that one outright. And then they get ASU, which they put up 42 against. I got this one going over. USC is going to put up 40, 45 by themselves. We've seen them do that almost every single game. They're a really good team. How much Washington State puts up? I think they can get 18-21 area. I do think USC would cover this 11. I think that they blow them out, though. Over the 60.5 is going to be my pick, though. I'm not going to be laying 11 points in this one.
I do love the over. I don't like the side at all, to be honest with you. I think Washington State actually isn't a horrible team.
If it was in Washington State, maybe.
Yeah.
At USC, I don't.
I think they keep it like within the. I don't think USC covers, but I do think they win. But either way, I think this thing goes way over. That's the
over.
That's
the only thing we need.
Probably the easier play. Yeah.
Yep.
Don't forget, like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Picks and Parlay Power Hour is here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. All right, Tim, we got some NFL talk about. Sunday matchup, Steelers, Bills. Bills minus 14. Over-under is at 47.5 right now. Before we do that, don't forget, guys, free 7-day consensus report. All you got to do is just text your full name to 614-810-7522. This game.
Ugh.
This screams Steelers to me for
Yeah.
no reason.
Do you want me to talk you off of it?
Nope.
Kenny Pickett playing quarterback for the Steelers.
I know
he's most likely starting, and that's why the spread is a 14. Which I will not touch the side at all. I have zero interest in it. Bills should win this one by a lot, but I am not laying 14 points on an NFL team against another NFL team. That's kind of like once you hit 2 touchdowns, like, yeah, let's hold it back just a little bit. We'll look at the 2 teams real quick. Pittsburgh, 1-3 to start the year. They had their overtime win against Cincy, and they haven't won since. They lost to New England, they lost to Cleveland, and last week they lost to Zach Wilson and the New York Jets. No, but they just have not played well this season. And even their Cincinnati game, we could very well be looking at a Pittsburgh team that is 0-3-1 coming into this one. Either a tie, or they could have lost that game straight up. So this is a Steelers team I said was not going to be good. And guess what? They're not good. They're going to be at the bottom of the division, to not my surprise. And on the opposite side, you get Buffalo. Who's the Super Bowl favorite and should be. 31-10 win against the Rams, 41-7 against Tennessee. Really good 2 weeks. Miami game, we'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They go into the Miami Heat. That could be tough. In Miami, Tua was slinging for a while in that game. And the defense on Miami looked really good. I will say, last game was a little bit concerning for a little bit. 20-3 between them and the Ravens until they went and scored 20 unanswered points and won that game as regulation ended. A little bit concerning for the offense. Defense, phenomenal. The defense is great against a Baltimore team that had been putting up yards. Now you're going against a rookie quarterback in Pittsburgh. I'm going under. I would be surprised if Pittsburgh puts up 10. I think this is going to be an ugly game. 28-7, 28-10 at the max. If this one goes over, it's because the Bills put up 48 by themselves. I have a feeling that's the only way I feel like this one gets over is if Buffalo does 95% of the work. When it comes to it, Pickett against this Bills defense, sure, Pickett could be a really good first rounder. He's still the rookie quarterback, and this is his first official start.
Yep.
I think they did it in the worst place possible going into Buffalo.
I definitely think they're throwing them to the flames right now. They're like, all right, kid, go do something. Go do something. I don't know what to tell you. Welcome to the NFL. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And
but
if you guys are,
he will have a full week with the number ones. You know, maybe build some of that up. I don't think he's going to be. Maybe. I don't think he's going to be as horrible as you think, but I think he's going to. I think Buffalo.
And I'll make a sprinkle with this game. How about a Buffalo defensive touchdown? There you go.
Oh, Buffalo! I do have them on my fantasy team, so I'm good with that.
This is
we're taking the under. That's the official play. Tim's pick is under 47.5 in this game. Rookie quarterback. What else you want to say? Till then, don't forget to like, subscribe, ring that bell for notifications. Picks and Parlay Power Hours here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. All right, Tim, we appreciate it. I got to kick you on out of here. I got the man, the myth, the legend behind you. Okay, you got to go. You got to go, Tim. Bye. All right, we're gonna bring up True man, true myth, true
Listen,
legend.
you can't say that to everybody.
Mind.
You can't say that to everybody.
I
You
didn't
say that
say
to every
about,
person
I
you
didn't say about
introduced.
nobody else on the show.
I
today.
watched you introduce Tim. You said the same thing. So
no,
please.
I said
Yes, you did.
Tim,
No.
straight out of ESP headquarters
The man
in
of
North
myth, the legend.
Carolina. No, Tim's not a legend. Come on, maybe in his own way. You, sir, you over there. I'm telling you, I look forward to Mondays just so I get to try and match this guy's right here. So sometimes we match.
Listen, that Kenny
Right.
Pickett talk, I said, people are like, put him in. I'm like, have you seen the schedule? They got the Ravens. They got the Patriots. They got Miami, a bunch of good defenses. This is a recipe for failure for this guy because now you're stuck with him.
Yeah.
You're going to have 4 wins on the year. And he's going to take a beating.
Yep. And then they're going to go out and draft him a wide receiver. Hopefully. We'll see. Let's talk about this game. This is a Friday night matchup. A little Big Ten action here. Friday night Big Ten action. Nebraska, Rutgers. Nebraska going to Rutgers, -3. Over under 50.5. Before you break down this game, I got to tell people, free 7-day consensus report. All you have to do is text your full name, 614-810-7522. Text Craig Trapp's burner phone for the consensus report, folks. Talk to me a little bit about this matchup.
Does he have more phones than me, Lenny? Is there proof of this?
How true or false? How many phones do you have on your desk right now?
I just got one on my desk right now.
Oh,
it's a Monday afternoon.
I got 2, and the hotline, the bling bling hotline. I got the red flip phone because that's what I'm a big Batman fan. So the Batman has a red phone.
Nah, just one for there's not much going on right now. I got I just wrote a dozen write-ups for NFL Sunday already.
Oh Jesus!
Not much. The phones are out in force yesterday for college.
All right, talk to me about Rutgers. Do we think they can do anything here?
This might be a square play taking Nebraska. But I'm taking them. I'm a Jersey guy. I want Rutgers to do good. I want Rutgers to turn into like Miami, Florida of the 80s, keep all the New Jersey talent in there and be really good.
Yeah.
But the simple fact of the matter is it's not right now. And Shiano's will bring talent back there. Let's be honest here with them. They're scoring 15 points a game. That's what, take out the 66-7 game versus Wagner, and they've scored 10, 16 versus Temple, and a 20 versus BC team who was really beat up to start the year. So, and now you have Nebraska. They got rid of Frost. They finally got their first Big Ten win in about a year. It took them a year to win in the Big Ten. But how were they losing those games? You talked about Frost. They were losing like just close games. They were right there. They were right there.
4 points.
And you know what? The coach is out. And what happens? They come in, they scored the first touchdown against Oklahoma, and then get run out of the building against the Sooners. No problem. Oklahoma's, you got a new coach there. But I don't know. The new coach there, I think they're walking around. They call it, Mickey Joseph. They call him Big Mick Energy now with this team. They're excited about Big Mick. Yes.
Big Mick Energy.
This is a team that just lost by mistakes. They couldn't close out games. And you know what? You made some mistakes. You still closed out and covered last week against Indiana. 2 years ago, this was a 28-21 game at Rutgers. And again, is Rutgers putting 20 up here? I don't think so. It's a field goal. I think we should get it done here. Give me Nebraska. Talent-wise, they're still a better program.
They are. I think I'm going to probably take the points, though, with Rutgers, me personally, because I'm looking for some Jersey magic.
I see 3.
I'm looking for some Jersey magic.
If it was like 4 or 5, I'd say, you know what, I'll take the dog here. I'll take it. I just can't at 3. I'm going to go talent alone, Nebraska. I've seen them play games close and just make the mistakes to lose. I
just think Nebraska
isn't that
horrible. I'm not believing in no Big Mick energy. I'm not. I don't believe it. Don't forget, guys, like, subscribe, ring that bell for notification. Picks and Parlay Power Hours here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. All right, now we got a little NFL action to talk about.
Yeah.
Excuse me. Bears at Vikings. Sunday. Vikings -7 straight up. Over-under is 43 here. Before we break this down, don't forget 7-day consensus report. Just text full name to 614-810-7522. Talk to me about this matchup here.
Real fast, I want to say hi to Pedro. He said hello, so I got to say hello, and I see him in the chat. I acknowledge the chat. That's just part of me being midday money, Sean.
That's my bad.
Guys,
old Pedro here.
I like it. So here's a spot with this Bears game. Now, we have Minnesota. I had them last week. I had them at a pick 'em when it opened. It went to 3.5. Minnesota and the Saints. No bye week. I mean, I gotta like the Bears here in this spot. It was a 6.5 when it opened. 6.5. I'm like, oh man, they're begging me to take the Bears here. Now it's at 7. I even saw some 7.5s. The Bears look terrible. Talk about holding your nose and taking bad plays here. I don't know. How about an under action? You know, Lenny, it's Bears and under for me here out of the two.
Yeah.
I'm I just look at it because it's for me. It's fading both. I took Seattle plus 6. I took Seattle plus 6 versus Saints because it's just a bad travel spot for Minnesota. And listen, Cousins versus anybody else, it's not prime time, will probably be well. I mean, Josh Fields here, does he throw the ball? Are they going to let him pass? I mean,
no, I don't think they want him to pass because I don't think
what is going on here.
First of all, they don't believe in his arm. And I don't think he's football smart. Like,
there's not even much I can even say about this team for the under. I mean, I want to take the Bears because it's just a bad spot for Minnesota and the Saints. I lumped them both together here because if you're coming from London, no bye week, that's a tough travel day. I don't know. Maybe it's not for these guys. For me, I mean, most people get knocked out from the West Coast East Coast flight. Now you're going halfway around the globe.
Yeah, exactly.
It's just the Bears' offense is terrible.
Anemic.
It's terrible. Yeah. How are they scoring here?
I don't understand how they're 2-2.
And now Minnesota,
I don't get it.
Well, they're 2-2. I mean, listen, easy. You won against you knew they were going to beat the Niners, at least cover, because everybody was going to be on Trey Lance thinking he's the MVP of the league.
Right.
So you get a monsoon to help you out there, and then you beat the Texans team.
And then you beat Houston.
Which, I kind of like Houston. They're kind of tough. That was a decent win. But here, where's the points coming from? Chicago can't score, and explosive as Minnesota is, it's just kind of like a bad body clock game. I don't even know how else to cover it. I mean, the Minnesota offense should be able to put up a ton of points. They got a new coordinator, new coach. I figured they'd unleash Thielen and the tight end and Jefferson and Cook, although Cook's been a little banged up. Give me the under here. It's the under for me. It's the Bears. I got nothing to say.
The only thing that could make this game even worse is if it was on primetime. I know, right? Like a Thursday night game where we're forced to watch just that.
This is just again, I go back to how do you not give them a bye week? And
that's ridiculous.
The Vikings offense has kind of scuffled a little bit, and their defense, I think, is pretty solid. Let's be honest. This Saints game, they kicked a couple like 20-something yard field goals. That game would have been 24, 28-7, and never in doubt. Saints score late in the third and the fourth quarter, kind of make it look a little more competitive than it was. It wasn't. The Vikings defense did what they did, and they couldn't punch it in from close. And here, I just don't see any kind of firepower coming from the Bears. Where's that coming from? Where's the late push?
Agree.
The late push to make a 17-7?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this game, I don't think either one of them get to 20s. Maybe like a 21-10 game or something like that. I mean, and that's just, and I'm giving a lot of credit to Minnesota.
That's where it comes down to. If you get the Bears start whipping the ball around and start making mistakes, then all of a sudden this turns into a 34-24 game because guys are throwing the ball all over and a bunch of chaos ensues. But again, if that happens, what are you going to do?
Madness, folks. It's chaos. It's madness.
If that happens, the cap here is simply to the under with the way these teams are. There's no other way. If it goes over, there'll be some fruit plays and some wow.
Yeah, there'll be a pick six to make it go over or something like that.
There'll be a lot of wows.
Yeah, it'll be a lot of what the hell just happened, which is basically every Lions game. So I'm used to that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Picks and Parlay Power Hours here Monday through Friday, 3 p.m. Eastern. I'm Detroit Lenny with Picks and Parlays. That's the man, the myth, the legend, the one and only Sean Higgs. We'll see you guys on the next time. Till then, good luck, unless you're against us.